Hi everyone, it's Chenzo from Reality Art Pod, here to talk about the Traitors USA Season 2, Episode 1, titled Betrayers, Fakes, and Fraudsters. I'm so excited to watch these, but I want to give you time to watch them too. They released these 3 episodes Friday night. I'm going to watch the 3 episodes, but record videos in between. So as of recording this, I've only watched the first one. I'm going to post Episode 2 on Sunday morning and Episode 3 Monday morning. Before I dive in, I put a link in the subject of my video to my Traitors playlist. Right now, the only video there is my cast reaction where I predicted that the Traitors would be Phaedra, CT, and Ekin-su. Also, if you like this video, subscribe so you don't miss the future videos. So let's dive into it. Alan Cumming introduces us to his Cumming game wearing a tilted black fedora and a black cloak. God, I miss the best host on reality TV. The players head to the manor, with Larsa instantly revealing to the group that she and Marcus are a couple, and Parvati telling the group that she doesn't want to see Sandra. Alan peers out at them with opera glasses from his window in a crimson suit and red scarf. They're greeted with bagpipes. Peppermint calls the groundskeeper creepy. Alan tells his dog Lala that guests are arriving, and Lala is a freaking icon. CT is happy to see his old friend Bananas on the cast. He feels that he and Bananas are basically cosmically entwined. Dan and Janelle reunite. Dan reminds us that the last time he saw Janelle, he voted her out of Big Brother. The group mingles, but is interrupted by a pyrotechnic explosion and Alan greeting them. MJ calls Alan Swaggy. Swaggy Alan tells them they'll be playing for up to $250,000. They enter the manor. The challengers, CT, Bananas, and Trishelle sync up at the bar, and Trishelle doesn't trust CT. They're not cosmically entwined. Sandra and Parvati reunite, and I didn't know they had such a resentment for each other. They played their season together on Survivor, and Sandra won, but many, including myself, many others, and apparently Parvati too, think that she should have won that season. Peppermint encourages them to make good, and they shake on it and make a little 3-way alliance with Peppermint, but Sandra tells us that she's going to take care of Parvati once and for all. Phaedra tells us that she could never play Survivor, she's too glam, but looking at the memory wall, she seems to have done her research about the other players, knowing who Peter and Kevin are. She tells CT that Larsa is Scottie Pippen's ex-wife and Marcus is Michael Jordan's son. As he does, Bananas does a toast, and Janelle tries to teach Kevin about Bananas, who doesn't even know what the challenge is. They grill John on his political background, and John tells us that he basically is a shady figure who is cutthroat in politics. Larsa tries to lie to us, the viewers at home, saying that she and Marcus aren't going to play as a team. That's such BS because these two are obsessed with each other. Alan interviews the cast so he can pick his traitors. Bananas asks Alan how it feels to be the second best dressed guy on the show, and Alan says, "Back off, bitch." Dan and Sandra want to be traitors. Bergie says he'd be a terrible liar. Parvati tells Alan that the money would mean a lot to her since she just got divorced. They get blindfolded up, and Alan taps his picks to be traitors. He taps Dan, who's so happy, and Phaedra, who says she's going to be the queen of the castle. He only picks 2 traitors, which I found interesting. Janelle is pissed that she's not a traitor, and Tamara is confident in her traitor hunting ability. Alan says that the traitors will get to pick one more person to enlist to become the 3rd traitor later on. It'll be their decision. Janelle instantly calls John out on his heavy breathing during the selection process. Larsa thinks that she heard Alan's jacket ripple when he passed Parvati. How dare you, Larsa? Parvati says in confessional that Larsa has got to be out of her mind for that, and tells her to her face that she's barking up the wrong tree. Janelle tells Trishelle that if she's a traitor to recruit her, and this campaign to be a traitor makes me nervous for Janelle. Phaedra is staying quiet. She has such an advantage because her giant lashes shadow her eyes at all times. Ekin instantly makes Bergie nervous, causing him to spill his drink on himself, and he's sweating and blushing. Bananas says Bergie has soiled himself. An interesting cheers happens with a random Mount Rushmore of reality TV men: Bananas, CT, Dan Giesling, and Bergie. Then they head to their challenge. I normally am not a fan of the challenges, and last season I skipped over some of the challenges, but I actually feel like they put a lot of work into making the challenge more of an important part of the episode. Tamara feels sick, so she won't be playing in the challenge, and they'll be boating out into a lake to recreate a floating puzzle, and they're planning to add $30,000 to the pot. There are also 2 shields in the lock and 1 on land to save themselves. Janelle instantly wants the shield. Alan reveals that they're starting the mission tied up to stakes, and guards come in and manhandle them, tying them to poles. Janelle gets free first and runs for the shield. Parvati tells us, "Girl, get your ass back here and untie me." Sandra announces to the group that Janelle should have helped them and she left them. Bananas is taking leadership in the challenge as this is right up his alley, and the challenge ends up being chaos. I really don't think the producers wanted them to succeed at this for maximum drama. Bergie is the last one untied, with Sandra and Phaedra helping him. I don't think these two had any intention of helping in any other meaningful way. Deontay and CT go for the shields in the water. On the beach, Sheree finds the clue that the puzzle is shaped like a shield, so they start making their puzzle in the water. They end up getting it in the nick of time, but it's clear that if it weren't for certain players, they wouldn't have gotten it done. Back at the house, Phaedra tells us that she's considering CT as a traitor because she has a crush on him. Trishelle jokingly calls Peppermint a traitor, and Peppermint gives her an extended death stare. Dan is looking for his pick to be traitor. He approaches Peter, who says he doesn't want to be traitor. Dan is also considering Janelle and Parvati. Dan and Sandra talk, and Max walks in and out and sketches them out. As they settle in for bed, Trishelle tells Janelle about Peppermint's reaction to her joke. At night, in their lair, Phaedra and Dan reveal themselves to each other as the traitors, and they giggle about it, and it's cute. It seems like they're considering Parvati, Larsa, Sandra, and Janelle to recruit, so they make their decision about who they want to recruit. Whoever it is, Dan says that he doesn't trust them, so I'm leaning towards thinking that it's Larsa. I can see their thought process in picking Larsa because they need someone they can throw under the bus. Larsa already has a big target for herself and could be an easy scapegoat, but I personally wouldn't pick Larsa because she has such a close relationship with Marcus, and I think that she would tell Marcus, don't trust these two people. We leave off with the cliffhanger of Alan slipping the invitation under the door for the new traitor. Dan and Phaedra did have an envelope on their desk of someone to murder, but not sure if they're going to pick that before or after the new traitor comes in. Overall, this was a really strong episode. I think the cast is really committed to delivering. You can tell that the editors had a hard time consolidating this all into one episode. So I'm about to watch episode 2. My predictions are, I think they're gonna recruit Larsa. They should recruit Parvati. As far as murdering goes, I think Max might get murdered for sketching Dan out. I actually don't think it would be a terrible move for them to murder Sandra at this point, given how good at this they both agree that she is. But we'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm gonna schedule that video to post Sunday morning. Let me know in the comments if you're watching along with me, who do you think is gonna get murdered? Who do you think is gonna get recruited? Also, I could use some support in powering through this. Like the video if you like it, subscribe so you don't miss the future ones. I'll see you Sunday morning. Bye!